Hello, how's it going? If you're offended by swearing, this isn't the video for you. You can find another video out of the millions that are here on YouTube. But yeah, welcome back. I'm gonna keep trying to upload at least once a week. I don't know what fucking day I'm gonna try to upload, but I'm gonna try. But it's raining, so I'm sorry if that's loud. I don't think it will be. But yeah. And my makeup doesn't always look like this. I can't even do my makeup like this. The beautiful Emily Sumner did my makeup for a photo shoot that I did with a photographer named Daniela in the area. She's very, very talented. And that's not me talking about myself. Her name's Daniela as well. So I'm going to link their stuff if you guys want to check them out there. She has her own YouTube channel. We filmed the video for her channel where she did my makeup. And then I shot with Daniela, and I'm just honored to have worked with them and hopefully continue to work with them because I really enjoyed it and I had a lot of fun. So I figured while my makeup is done, I'll film a fucking video, and I said that I was going to anyway, so maybe, you know, do what I should do, you know what I mean. I don't know what's going on back there. Did I already say that? I don't remember. So anyway, I asked you guys on Instagram any questions you guys wanted to know. They're mostly weight loss related, which is fine. So let's just get right into it. I have my laptop with my my questions. So for you personally, did confidence and weight go hand in hand? Yes and no. I definitely thought once I got to a certain weight that I was just gonna be like the most confident, outgoing person, and it was just going to become so easy for me, and that's really hasn't been the case. It's still a struggle for me to be outgoing and confident, but it's something I'm still continuing to work on. But it definitely has become easier, and I don't even think it has to do a lot with the weight or necessarily how I look. I just find that during my weight loss journey, I just found that like a newfound confidence, because you're doing all this stuff, you're putting yourself first, and you really grow to like love yourself, which there's a cardinal. Doesn't that mean something? Oh, I'm like gonna cry. Oh, that means something, and it's like chilling. That means something, like something from like spiritual something, and thank you. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, they definitely, I would say they go hand in, maybe like pinky to pinky, maybe not hand in hand, you know what I mean? Like there's more factors to that. Oh my god, there's a squirrel too. Wow. Okay. I think there's more factors to it, but definitely, yeah, sure. Did you have boyfriends when you were heavy? I find that they only want sex but nothing else. I did not. I've actually never been in a committed, serious relationship, as shocking as that sounds. Yeah, but I get what you're saying about them wanting sex. I definitely went through a huge phase where I've gone through so many phases in the last like year with guys that when I got back into dating after I lost about 120 pounds, all of a sudden they wanted to start taking me out. All of a sudden I wanted to start going on dates. They wanted to start bringing me around their friends, and I was like, okay, but none of you wanted to even take me to dinner. Or necessarily, not even take me to dinner, like go hang out with me in public, because you were ashamed of me. And it's not the same guys, do you know what I mean? But it's just guys in general. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, before I was just a body, and bigger women are definitely, with some men, are just over-sexualized, because it's like, it's a fetish type thing, you know what I mean? And a lot of guys have this mentality of like, oh, well, I'm giving her attention, so she should take it, because she's probably not getting it from a lot of other guys, which is a bunch of bullshit, let me tell you. But yeah, I definitely know what you're saying, and let me tell you this, I don't care what your size is, I don't care about anything, what your gender is, what your sexual orientation is, whatever. Do not lower your standards because you're not the definition of societal beauty, and that you should just take whatever you should get. That's fucking bullshit. The attitude of like, oh, well, you're a bigger girl, you should probably just like, you know, you can't have any physical preferences in a man or a woman or whomever because you're bigger and you should just take what you get. that was my mentality for a long time, because that's what I was led to believe. Like, okay, just take, literally I keep saying it, but like, take what you can get. And that's fucking bullshit. Have your standards. And I'm not saying anybody should just be like, oh, well, I will only date a guy over 6 foot, or I'll only date a guy with blonde hair. Like, that's fucking shallow. But you should be able to sit there and say, well, no, he's not really like, I'm just not attracted to him. Like, you can say that and be a bigger person. Like, you know what I mean? You can have standards. Fuck that. I had standards still when I was bigger, let me tell you. And I let a lot of guys walk all over me, but there was some times when I had the mentality of, this is as good as it's going to get, and you just take whatever you can get. And let me tell you, don't do that. Don't do that. How do you keep your hair looking good for only washing it twice a week and working out? I don't know. I wish I had an answer to that. I wear it up in like a scrunchie. That's why I'm always wearing this. I never use those actual ponytails because they leave a huge crease, and putting this in my hair every night, like putting my hair up, I just put it in like a messy bun. It leaves a lot of volume in my hair. But I never use dry shampoo or anything. If you're trying to get your hair into a cycle where you're not washing it every day or even every other day, you want to only wash it a few times a week, incorporate apple cider vinegar rinses, Pinterest it, YouTube it, whatever, into your hair washing routine, and it helps keep a natural pH in your hair so your hair's not getting overly oily. Because what happens when you start washing it every day is it becomes dependent on you washing it every day, so you kind of have to train your hair. Okay? Okay. How the fuck, oh, this is from my friend who I made on Instagram, Lindsay. She said, how the fuck are you so pretty 24/7? Miss all your stories. New job is stealing you from us. I love this bitch. She was literally like one of the first people who reached out to me, and we just like clicked. We used to literally, because she's a nanny too, we used to literally like send videos like every day, like 20-minute long videos to each other, just like updating, and I love her. But we haven't done that in a while, and I do miss being so active on social media. But yeah, I mean, I've explained this before, but now I'm working, I'm working, a full-time job, and it's just finding the creative energy after work is a little bit difficult after the gym. You know what I mean? Like, all those things are kind of coming first. So as much as I love doing social media, it's just kind of unfortunately been put on the back burner a little bit, but I'm trying to like incorporate it back into my life because I miss it and I like doing it, and it's a good creative outlet for me. And I feel like I don't need it. Like, I don't need the validation I get from it, but I need a space where I can talk about things and just have an outlet. You know what I mean? Okay, were you always overweight or did it happen suddenly? I have been overweight since I was like hit puberty. Like, I was actually really, 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 really skinny as a kid because I never ate, because I always had really bad anxiety, so it always just felt like a tummy ache. But yeah, it didn't happen suddenly. High school, I went up into the 200s. I graduated at like 240. And then after that, it was just a steady hike up to 300s. And then I hit 307, and it hasn't come anywhere close to that since. So, but yeah, pretty much I don't remember a time where I didn't consider myself fat, basically. Describe the moment when it all clicked for you. I don't have one of those moments. I get that question a lot, and I don't have a moment or like a time when I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, I'm just going to do it. It just all sort of started happening. And I really wish I had like this really cool story where it was like, I went on a hike with the love of my life and I just couldn't keep up with him and I just knew it was time. Like, I don't have anything like that. It just was like, I just did it. You know what I mean? So, what kind of music keeps you motivated and moving? I like if I'm really feeling like sluggish at the gym. This is what happened to me last night because I didn't take pre-workout. I put on SoundCloud and then I like find just like EDM, like Louis the Child or like Diplo or something that's like, I don't like the not screamo, what's it called? Skrillex type of music, but I like, I just like a good beat. that kind of shit. Just, oh my God, when I'm running. No, it's not Diplo and Friends. Is it Diplo and Friends? It's Louis the Child, but I think it's called Diplo and Friends. It's on SoundCloud. It's like a hour-long mix. And it's the one thing, like if I'm doing cardio and I don't have any videos to watch or whatever, I just need, or if I'm running, that is my go-to. There's so many good songs in that mix that it's just like, I fucking love it. So that's what keeps me going. What was the biggest change you had mentally when you were in the process of losing weight? Oh God, that's a good question. What was the biggest change you had mentally? Definitely how I looked at myself was different. It was like, I've talked about this before, but like I genuinely hated the fuck out of myself. Like I had this attitude, and I kind of still, I don't know. I feel like it's gotten better, but I had this attitude where it was like, let me pretend like I'm better than everybody else, to kind of put everybody who, because I always thought everybody else was better than me, right? So if I pretend that I'm better than everybody else, it'll mentally bring everybody else down with me, and it really didn't do that. I had such opposite effects. So when I started to get into the journey, and when I started to just be my biggest cheerleader instead of my worst enemy, it really, that's why I preach it till the day, I will preach it till the day I die. That is why I was successful, because there was no point in that journey that I was like, fuck you. I didn't look in the mirror and say, fuck you, why did you eat that? Why did you eat that? Like, what was the point of eating that? Like, now you're gonna gain weight, and now, like, I never really was like that. I was always like, it's fine, move on with your life, you're fine, you're still killing it, you still lost all this weight, like, tomorrow's a new day, let's start over, you got this. Like, it never was, you fucked up, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you can't be like that, because once you get into that mentality of like, you're doing, because I have so many people who are like, I'm fed up, and I'm this, and I'm so mad at myself for getting to this point, and it's like, you can't have that mentality, because you're just gonna self-sabotage, and that's not the move. You don't want to self-sabotage, because that's the cycle of dieting. It's like, yeah, you cheer yourself on, and then you get really mad at yourself because you're not where you want to be, and then it's like, well, fuck this, I'm just gonna fucking ruin everything. No, you gotta keep cheering yourself on. End of story. How tall are you? Did you use that to determine your goal weight, what your goal weight might be? I am 5'6", 5'5", 5'7", I don't know. Somewhere in that ballpark. And I just knew when I started losing weight, my original goal weight was 175, because I had lost about 25 pounds when I was in 9th grade. I went from 200 to 175, and I really liked how I looked at 175. So I was like, let me get back to how I looked then, because I went to Italy. I was 15, I went to Italy, and I had all these pictures, and I was like, I just want to get back to that. And then when I got to 175, I was like, I got a little bit more work I want to do with coming from such a large, because losing 25 pounds, you don't really have saggy skin, but now it's like I'm dealing with a saggy skin issue, and so I was like, let me lose more weight. So it just kind of like was like, oh, let me get to 160, and then I got to 160. I was like, I can do 10 more pounds. And then I got to 150, and I was like, let me get to 140. So having a goal weight is like good and also bad, because it kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on the person, it depends on everything, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't matter what weight that I get at, I'm always going to want to self-improve in something, so I don't know. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Alright, have you ever tried a spin class? No, but I really want to. Like, really, 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 really want to. If you could redo it, what ratio of cardio and weights would you start with? I'd probably do like a good 75% cardio, 25% weights. When I lost most of my weight, I was doing like 95% cardio, I would even say a higher percentage than that, and like maybe like 1 or 2 days a month doing weight training. I really wish I would have done more weight training, because I would be toner now. I would have lost the weight slower, but I would have been building muscle throughout that whole time, whereas before, I kind of like, what I ended up doing was just like deflating myself, and now I'm trying to build that muscle back up but still lose fat, so it's kind of been difficult now, but that's what I would do. I would do 75, 25. Do you take any supplements like a probiotic, collagen, fiber, etc.? No, I was taking women's multivitamin, just like a generic, for a while there, but I stopped taking it. So, no, I don't want to take anything else. Favorite bad food snack that you would eat on a cheat day? Taco Bell. Literally anything from Taco Bell. Like, I fucking fuck Taco Bell up every time. It's so fucking good. I don't care what anybody, people say, oh, it's just dog food. Oh, it's just, fuck you. It's fucking good. Fuck. I love fucking Taco Bell. Oh my god, I just burped you. Which foundation do you use? Bitch, you look so good. Thank you. I use a mixture of the 24-hour Super Stay from Maybelline, and then I mix it with L'Oreal Lumi. That's it. Is there anything you miss about the way you looked before you lost weight? Oh, that's a good question. I would say my boobs, but like now I'm realizing they were kind of a huge inconvenience. I used to love my boobs. I used to love how big they were, and I just thought they were hot, and like, you know, I would always show them off. But now I'm realizing that I have like closer to a B cup than I do like a D cup. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a lower C, like I'm barely fitting into a C now. That big boobs are kind of like annoying. Like I'm not saying they're ugly by any means, they're not. But you know, if you have them, flaunt them. Like, girl, do you. But for me, I just find it to be like so much easier. Just even like t-shirts and stuff. Like it's just throw on a sports bra, whatever. So I think that'd be it. Yeah. I think that'd be it. Did you feel like people treated you different after you lost the weight? Strangers, family, friends? Yes. Everybody. I feel like everybody in my life treats me differently, except really like my sister. I feel like she's kind of been like my consistent, like she's always treated me the same. So whenever anything's going like weary with people, I always go to her, because I'm like, she'll put me straight. Like she'll either be like, bitch, you're in the wrong, like you need to apologize, you need to do this, like you need to take your head out of your ass. Like my sister's that person for me. So yeah, but everybody else really, I mean, even I feel like my parents, like just not treating me differently, because I think it's the way I, you know, carry myself now that causes it. But I mean, definitely did notice a difference with, one, guys, and two, just, you know, even when I go to the store and stuff, it's like I feel like I can have a certain level of rudeness and they'll accept it, rather than before when I was just like, and I don't do it, like I'm not a rude person, but you know, when I was heavy, I was always super, 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 super nice. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, like, whatever. I was always brushed off. I feel like bigger people are very much just brushed off in society, and I think that's fucked up. So now when I get attention and stuff, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. But, yeah, I don't know. Did that answer your question? Hopefully. What did your family do? Your family think? Are they supportive? Are you talking about like just my weight loss? They've always been supportive. Yeah, they've always been supportive. I've never really had an issue with that. Do you monitor your heart rate while you work out? Yes, I have my Fitbit and I'm always looking at it. So, yeah. Did you ever have days where you felt like you looked the same though you've lost weight? Yeah, I still do that. Mentally, I don't know what it's gonna take, but it's been a mind fuck. It's sometimes like when I'm under the influence of like, you know, alcohol, when I'm drinking a little, that I look in the mirror and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck, yes. But like when I'm sober, I'm like, okay, stomach, hello, we see you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still hard on myself in some aspects, but then I'm like, oh, you look good. I don't know. It's very confusing. It literally fucking depends on the day. Not even the day, it depends on the hour that I'm looking at myself. Like, not even the hour. The minute I look at myself sometimes, I'm like, okay, bitch. And there are other times when I'm like, okay, bitch. You know? So, it literally just fucking depends. It fucking depends. Do you have a type, like, look-wise? No. I did for a long time, and now I'm realizing I'm very open to pretty much anybody. Michael B. Jordan. John Hamm. The guy from Punisher. You know what I mean? Like, there's 3 very different guys, and I feel like they all can get it. You know what I mean? I like them older. It's usually the type I go for. Older, like, dad wearing a New Balance at his cottage, you know, on Memorial Day. It's usually the type of guy I go for, but I've been more open to other types of guys. Younger guy, not younger guys, like guys my age. But yeah, I don't know. Just somebody nice, somebody funny, just somebody genuinely funny to me. Like, who can make me laugh. Like, I feel like sometimes I humor people, but if you can genuinely make me laugh, you can get it. Probably, maybe. What tanning lotion do you use in the tanning bed? I don't use lotion. I probably should, but I don't, because I'm not paying for that. I'm a cheap bitch. Not really, but kind of. What is something you wanted to do but have never done due to weight? Will you do it now? There's kind of a lot that I didn't do. Let's see. I want to maybe more roller coasters, like Cedar Point, because I feel like I did them for a while and then I stopped because there was one time I got on and they like almost kicked me off because I was too heavy because they couldn't get the seatbelt in, but they had to like shove me in there, and then I stopped going on them for the rest of the day. I acted like, oh yeah, I just have a headache, but I was really, really embarrassed. So yeah, that kind of just, okay. Yeah. Do you have any funny hookup stories? Funny. Would we laugh or would we cry? No, I don't have any funny ones. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. No. Oh, I wish I did, because I would totally tell you. But I don't. Nothing, just love you. You're seriously awesome. Come visit Idaho, LOL. Thank you so much. And, Idaho. Maybe. You come visit me. Idaho. I don't know that hoe. Alright, I'm done. Did you find your skin broke out when you lost weight at first? I don't remember specifically it breaking out, but that's a good possibility. I do remember one time I tried going like vegan and my skin went nuts. Like, and I hear that's very like common when you start cutting back on certain foods, that your body just like kind of just like, I don't know what happens. It's kind of like a detox and it's all coming out. So I do find that, I think that's common, but I don't remember specifically. It probably did because it was a lot of like detoxing, water, you know what I mean? Do you get anxiety when eating bad? If so, what are some things you do to help your anxiety? I think you mean from like the decision, like being like, oh, why did you do that? Like, oh my God, you're gonna gain all your weight back. I definitely did at the beginning. But once you start to realize like, okay, this doesn't really mean anything. Like, you could even be up a little bit the next day from eating, maybe like you have Chinese and then you go on the scale the next day and you're like, oh my God, I'm up. Like, that's water weight. Like, that doesn't actually, once you start to, it really sets in that the choices you make are going to affect you long term, absolutely. But if you have a slip up, it's not going to really affect anything. You start to get a better grasp on things and you're like, all right, cool, move on. But that takes a little bit of time. So just give yourself some time and getting into that mentality that, like, you know, obviously if every meal you have, you're like fucking up, Do you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna obviously lead to a little bit of a weight gain or whatever, you'll plateau. But if you have, 9 meals, no, what am I saying? 15 meals in a week, and one of them is bad, it's gonna be okay. So it's just getting into that mentality. Anything new in your dating life? A new interest? Any fun dates? I wish. There's literally no one. There's literally no one. I kind of reconnected with somebody who I was interested in and trying to figure that out a little bit, but other than that, not really. I kind of had like 4 or 5 dates set up for last night, and I literally went on none of them. I went to the gym. Probably shouldn't laugh, but I don't know, like, I just don't want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, none of them were like, and I know I should be giving people chances, but none of them were like, I wasn't excited about any of them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. How has your period changed since weight loss? It is a lot lighter. I don't get as many cramps. But it's definitely changed. Some months it'll come really early. Some months it'll come late. It's definitely changed, and it's something that I keep an eye on. But yeah, it's changed. Have you lost more weight recently? Your face looks chiseled. Honestly, I could fucking hug you if you were here. I'd fucking make out with you. Thank you. I have not really lost any more weight. I've lost like 3 more pounds. But I felt like I was crazy, but I felt like my jawline looks a little bit better, like my cheekbones, like my nose, like I don't know, like looking back on pictures, I feel like I was a little bit more fuller in the face, and then just like now I feel like, but I haven't lost any more weight, so I appreciate you noticing, and thank you. Your favorite YouTube channels? Emma Chamberlain. I know I'm probably too old to say that, but I love her. Emma Chamberlain, Learning to be Fearless. I love her. I've loved her for such a long time. Learning to be Fearless. Jaclyn Hill. Rem Life, Remy Cruz. I love her. And I watch like Cody Co and like Danny Gonzalez and oh my god, I can see it. Drew Gooden. I like them. I always watch them. So yeah. I think that's it. I think that's really all. I mean, I follow like Jeffree Star drama if there is any, but I really don't watch any of his videos. James Charles, like that whole thing, like I follow it, but like I know who those people are, but like I don't really like give a shit, you know. Does your new workplace have any eye candy? Yeah, sure. What is one place you want to visit the most? Chernobyl. There's what was it called? Wonderland or something in Japan, and it's literally like fucking an abandoned Disney World, like a knockoff abandoned Disney World, and it's like one of my dream places to go to. Like, I'm obsessed with abandoned places, and Chernobyl, I don't know, I have this weird obsession with it. There's that show on HBO now that I fucking love, and there's only 2 episodes, but yeah, I don't know, I've just been weirdly obsessed with it. I just think that it's so eerie and creepy and just like, but like haunting at this, like I like haunting things. I feel like I'm very into like I'm not scared by ghosts by any means, but like I'm definitely into that stuff. Like, tell me about a haunted place, because I don't think all haunted things are like demonic. There's definitely demonic spirits, but like, I know I sound crazy, but like I definitely think some people are just like, some ghosts are just like here, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like I lived with my grandparents all last year, and I really feel like their house was haunted, but not in a demonic way at all. Like the spirits that lived in that house were like dope. Like, they were just like, but even when you were home alone, you felt like somebody was there, and it never creeped me out. So, I don't know. I sound psycho, but that's just what I believe in. So. Any advice for getting over a breakup? What is going on? I kind of went through, it wasn't even a breakup, it just was kind of like an ending of a relationship, but like not like a committed relationship, which is almost kind of worse because you can't even say that you broke up. And it sucked and it hurt, and I didn't even realize how much I was hurting until recently. Like, I realized, like, I got out of it and I was like, oh my god, like, I'm happy again. Like, and it was something that I was like, wait, why wasn't I? And then I was like, oh yeah, I got my fucking heart just torn out of my chest. And you don't even realize, like, I didn't even realize it was happening, but I would just take that time to feel what you're feeling. Do you know what I mean? Don't sit there and get on Tinder again, and don't sit there and be like, oh, I have to go hook up with somebody, or I have to get validation from somebody else to feel good about myself. Like, fuck that. I don't like that mentality at all. I don't like when friends are pressuring you into getting back into dating, because that's not the answer. Because all that is teaching you is to rely on a fucking guy to make you happy, and fuck that. Work on yourself. Work on things that you want to work on. Even if it's just, oh, I've always wanted to get into scrapbooking and you haven't had the time because you've been in this relationship, start scrapbooking. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be something as little as, scrapbooking is fucking expensive, or maybe don't do that, you know. If you wanted to, go ahead, but like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, fucking fuck. I mean, that shit's fucking expensive, but like, honestly, I would just suggest, during that time that I went through, I'm just speaking from my personal experience, I was just like allowing myself to just, even though I wasn't realizing what I was feeling, I was just allowing myself to feel down and feel depressed and feel like, go through it, because it's a part of life, and the more you go through it, the more stronger you get. But I would not suggest jumping back into the water and being like, hey, I'm here, I'm broken, and I'm, fuck me because I just, I need validation from men. Like, if you want to hook up with a guy, go ahead, like, do you. Like, I'm not a slut shame. I'm not saying that at all. Do you. But don't feel like you have to. Don't feel the pressure to get back out there. You know what I mean? Work on yourself. Let yourself feel things. Journal. I love journaling. It's such a good tool. So, did you work out twice a day since the beginning? No. I worked out once a day, 3 to 5 times a week. And that was it. Once I started getting more comfortable at the gym, I started going twice a day. So it was in the summer, I want to say, that I started going twice a day. So like July, and I started in January. So it took me about 7 months to get to a point where I was like in enough shape and it had enough energy to go twice a day. Do you use anything to whiten your teeth? If so, please share. I use Crest 3D White toothpaste. I have a Sonicare toothbrush. And then I use, it's Kroger brand. It's like a 3D white mouthwash thing. It's like literally, I think, like $4 or $5. That's it. So, thank you, though. I take that as a compliment. The last question. We're gonna end on this note. TMI, maybe, but is sex more or less uncomfortable? This was actually the first question I got. Sex is, it's more uncomfortable now, I will admit. I can't believe I'm talking about this when, like, anybody could see this, but, sex is a part of life. I'm a fucking adult. I'm a woman, so let's talk. When I was heavier, it was... The thing is, and I'll just say this, I won't even get into, like, the graphic details of it all. When I was heavier and I would meet somebody and, we decided to consensually have sex, they knew when I took off my clothes that I was going to be bigger underneath. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a shocking thing. Like, it's not like, oh my God, she's big? What? I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're getting yourself into. Now it's like, in clothes, I feel like I look skinnier than what I do when I'm naked, because now when I'm naked, it's like, oh, there's some stuff going on there. You know what I mean? And I've never had it hasn't been that many. It's not like it's been like a fucking parade of people, but, you know, I've just been a lot more self-conscious about it. And it's actually, you know what? I will say it's held me back from, oh, that woman scared me. It's held me back from doing the deed, which is almost a good thing. So, yeah, I lied. I'm going to answer one more question that I just saw. It was, how do you stop yourself from going to a fast food place, like on your way home or whatever? I always try to have a plan of, okay, I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat this. Like, I have this at home, or I always plan out before I even leave. Like, I always know what my next meal is going to be. I know some of us don't have that option, like even financially, but if you do, if you have shit at home, go home, be an adult, do what your mom told you. Know what I mean? When you drive by McDonald's at the end of the day and your mom would be like, you'd be like, Mom, can we go to McDonald's? And she'd be like, no, we have food at home. Like, you have to do that to your fucking self. Like, honestly, like, there's so many times when I'm like, oh, there's McDonald's, there's Taco Bell. No, we have food, go home. One, financially, I don't want to be fucking spending money, and two, there's no point. Like, you literally have food at home. Like, go fucking home. If you have a plan as to, okay, yeah, I know what I'm gonna eat when I get home, it makes it a lot easier. But I know how stupid we can get when we're hungry. I always compare being hungry to, like, being horny. Like, you make stupid fucking decisions in both scenarios. Do you know what I mean? And then you eat, or you get what you need. You have the sex, or you do what you know, and you have regret after. And it's like, oh, okay, like, shouldn't have done that. Probably shouldn't have done that. But maybe not so much you shouldn't have done that, or I could have made a better choice is really what it comes down to. So yeah, I always just try to have a plan. Like, oh, I'm leaving work. Oh, I have this to snack on when I get home. Boom, bam, done. Now I'm not going to stop anywhere. Because I know it's so easy when it's like, oh, I have nothing to eat at home. Well, stop at the grocery store and get yourself something healthy and make yourself some damn food. You're a grown-ass adult. Like, let's be real here. All that comes down to, and I'm the first one to admit it because I did it so many times, when you stop and get fast food because you don't want to make something at home, it's pure laziness. Fucking go home and make something. Throw something in the microwave. Not even the microwave. Don't do that. Have a plan, people. And I know, it's a matter of convenience. I know, like, if I'm going from work to class, it's easier to stop somewhere and get something. But again, you plan it out. You know you have school. You know you have something to do after work. You know you have a gap in between. Bring some food. Like, you need to start thinking of your food 12 plans ahead. Do you know what I mean? Alright, I hope that was at least a little bit helpful, or at least a little entertaining. I don't fucking know, but, thank you so much for watching, and let me know, of course, what you guys want to see, or I don't know. Let me know what you want from me, and I'll try to make it happen. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.